after a months-long financial drama, China's Evergrande officially considered in default, a result of a downgrade from Fitch this morning. The developer failing to meet 2 coupon payments after a grace period ended on Monday. This sets off a long battle ahead of for who will get paid from what remains of this company. Joining me right now is Wolfpack Research founder and chief investment officer Dan David. Dan, great to have you. Thanks very much for being here this morning. Your assessment of real estate in China and its impact.
Well, it's been in bubble territory for a very long time, and this is not just a default of Evergrande. This is a default of China and their banking system, who has pushed Evergrande ever so forcefully for the last 10 years to build and build and build. And now they're going to have their Bear Stearns moment. I don't necessarily think this is the Lehman moment, but this is that first big one that's going to have a trickle effect that we've been calling out for the last 10 years, those who are doing due diligence research like we do in China. I know one short report that was done on them 8-9 years ago said this exact same thing would happen, and that person, that researcher, was fined by the Hong Kong Security Commission.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, the retaliation is just beyond when you look at what the CCP does to companies, individuals. We were talking about disappearing people now for several months, Jack Ma, as well as the tennis star. But I want to get your take on these honeypots that the CCP has given our banks, because you mentioned banks in China. You know that the CCP has allowed J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs and a few others to own and operate their own financial services company in China. I do not think this is going to end well, but they have these honeypots. They're going there, and the CCP is expecting these companies to lobby for the CCP and try to get better policy in the United States. My question for you is, do you believe at some point the CCP turns around and says to the United States, look, we allowed your banks and brokers to come into China. Now we want to come into the United States, and we're going to start acquiring U.S. banks?
Well, I think they'll want to do that. And to your point, no, it's not going to end well. It's going to begin very well, right? So that's going to be the advertisement for them. Look how great things are going. And then they're going to get bundled poor debt securities into our banking system and make sure we feel the pain when their bubble bursts. That's the whole thing here, is they want us to come in there and take their bad debt in some of these banks. And then it's going to be more of a global catastrophe that affects the United States in a bigger way, because China was largely disassociated from the 2008 crash. And what they learned from that was we have to get everybody associated with our problems. So when we crash, they have to bail us out. This is what this is about. Yep. And it's the same thing with Ray Dalio. And, this is just a complete shame and a sham. Ray Dalio is going to make a lot of money in China. You know why? Because he's Ray Dalio, and that's going to be advertisement for China. Look how much money he makes. Come over here and make money. And the rest of us are going to lose. So, I don't know how we're not seeing how their playbook plays out time and time again. It's just a shame.
It's quite extraordinary. And David, I want to get your take on this, because my question now is, where is the policy out of this administration to actually push back on this terrible behavior and pretty much allowing investors in the United States to fund the CCP's expansion? We had Roger Robinson Jr. on this week, and he pointed out the fact that there are 5,300 Chinese securities, including more than 4,200 A shares that are let in the back door by index providers, 900 companies traded on the virtually unregulated OTC market. In other words, enabling investors to buy Chinese companies that are likely tied to the Chinese Communist Party's military. We're funding their expansion. Here's Roger Robinson Jr. yesterday. Watch this.
The American people are increasingly caring about where their money is going and how it's being used. They do not have in mind their retirement and investment dollars, underwriting, aiding and abetting genocide, trafficking in slave labor, equipping concentration camps. This kind of thing is going to make the American people distracted with anger, I can tell you that. And the more they find out about this, the more out of step Wall Street and corporate America are going to appear.
Dan, your reaction?
Well, first, Roger is a very intelligent China purveyor of information, a great man and a great American. I've spoken to him several times. He's worked with Wolfpack Research, and we plan on having him on our podcast because he does so much of that China work. He's 100% right.
Right.
But look, this is not new. This has been happening for well over 10 years that we have been exposing the China hustle. They actually made that documentary, The China Hustle, based on what we Americans exposed. It wasn't Congress over there doing it. It wasn't the government doing it. And I want you to know that we're fighting two countries while we're doing this, China and our own, because they didn't want this exposed, because then they have to deal with it. It's like it's the laws that they pass with not getting goods from Xinjiang. They're still getting them today. I don't care what law they passed, but solar goods are still coming in as of today. I could expose that next week. What do you think is going to happen? Nothing.
Nothing. And it's the same idea about, just recently, last week, the Securities and Exchange Commission finalizes a rule that allows the SEC to delist companies that fail to meet the audit requirements. They have to say that, whether or not they're subsidized by their government. Ride-hailing giant Didi announced it's going to delist from the New York Stock Exchange. As a result of that, this stock has been a complete disaster. J.P. Morgan underwrote it, and it lost all the money there. The stock is now at $6.91 on Didi Global. But Dan, that's the point. It looks like they're coming up with policy that pushes back, but they're really not. There's all these companies that are, in indexes that investors are investing in, and do they not understand that at some point you are funding the CCP's expansion, and when the CCP does overtake the United States as the #1 superpower, their kids and their kids and their grandkids are obviously not going to have the same upbringing that you and I did in terms of the opportunities available growing up in a free country as opposed to growing up under the Chinese empire.
Yeah, and the point is those grandkids need to know that their parents and their grandparents funded it. We have paid for everything in China's rise. What they haven't stolen from us, we've given them in cash. Like you look at Apple. That story comes out with Tim Cook, another liberal demigod who espouses values here that he doesn't espouse for himself in China. Basically, from what I've read, bribed Chinese officials with $275 billion, gives them tech jobs, gives them tech training that should be here, gives Didi $1 billion. I wonder what happened to that, and what's going to happen with that. That, in my mind, is how China works completely. And in many other countries, that would be a Federal Corrupt Practice Act violation.
Well, that's right. Apple CEO Tim Cook, it was reported this week that he signed a $275 billion deal with China back in 2016, that he agreed to train their people. He agreed to help the CCP, and in return, he gets an easier regulatory environment for Apple. You're right.
Right.
That's the report.
He was
on
already.
Apple. These companies get away with it.
Being canceled. So there was a quid pro quo. There were apps being canceled. So they're all doing it.
Yeah, Dan, thanks very much for raising the issue. Very important point you made. Dan David joining us this morning.